This is going to be my review of the Dynatec blank firing impact grenade. I purchased it from S.W.A.T Airsoft. I'll put the link in the description below. And there is an eBay listing that you can buy the grenade from. One note, when I started to set up here, everything was nice and quiet, and now a road crew just went down the road from me and they started grinding up trees, so you're going to hear that in the background. I don't want to stop because it's a beautiful day today, and I don't know when I'm going to get back to do this again. Okay, jump right in here. You'll see this one here is the original blank firing grenade. Has the two types of shells, the 9mm or 38 blank and the 12 gauge shells. Really simplistic design. You have the insert, which will take the 12 gauge shells like so, or you put the insert in like so, and it will take the 38mm blanks. Okay, now you have, with the blank firing impact grenade, you have one size that fits in there like so. Now, one description of this grenade: solid, solid, solid. Solid metal all the way around. Even the gnarled top that you put back in this is really well constructed. And the only negative I can say about this is you want to throw this underhand at someone just in case it hits them. It's going to hurt. That's the only negative thing I say about it. The original blank firing grenade had this rubberized coating on it that you would give somebody a chance if you got hit with it. But this, getting hit with it, it might be painful. One of the things in the description says it's a self-cocking. As soon as you pull the pin, it's ready to go. It hits, it fires, you're ready to go again. You don't have to push the pin down or anything like you do with the blank firing grenades. The blank firing impact grenade will auto-cock itself and continue to fire. If you have half a dozen of these 38 blanks in your pocket, you can just keep loading them, pick up the grenade, load it up, throw it again. It's a really handy thing in like a CQB environment. I would think it would be very good for room clearing, things like that. You got to check with the field owner or the organization that you're playing at to whether they allow these or not. They are pretty loud when they go off. Okay, what we're going to do now is, you can see my grenade box in the back. This is where I have all my different supplies for both the blank firing grenades and also my tornadoes, which are an impact grenade. We're going to do some testing now. First thing I'm going to do is just going to do a regular fire test on the blank firing impact grenade. Then we're going to do a sound test comparing the two. I actually think the blank firing impact grenade is a little bit louder. Okay, here we go with testing. Okay, what we're going to try now here is a simple test. If you see the sun line out here, right about here, I'm going to try to throw the grenade up a little bit in the air and land there and see if you get an idea on the sound. Okay, pulling the pin. Grenade is now live. It's actually pretty loud. Okay, we're going to try another test. This is going to be, I showed you just basic function. What we're going to try is see if there's any difference in the sound. First one I'm going to throw is the blank firing grenade. Then I will throw the blank firing impact grenade. Okay, pulling the pin, throwing. Okay, that was blank firing grenade. This is the impact grenade, throwing. Of course, I hit a flag hanging over my head and it came straight down. We're going to try this again out a little farther. Load it up, and now I'm going to try again, throwing it out there, get a little bit better sound quality. Didn't go off. Okay, we're going to try it again, see if I get a firing. Not bad. I've thrown this blank firing grenade a total of probably a dozen times, and it's got some major dings and bangs and really messed up gnarly spots on it. So it is taking a lot of damage throwing it. In comparison, it's just as bad on my blank firing grenade. It's got pretty much beat up. I think the rubberized coating on it actually is helping it a little bit. I know if you just saw when I was throwing that grenade, the first time I threw it, I did not get an explosion. I threw 6 times when I first got it and exploded 4 out of the 6 times. I don't know if it was the height I was throwing, how it landed, or whatever. I got to do some testing on that to see what's going to be the difference here. Now I'm going to walk out here and try this, dropping it from roughly 6 feet, which is a little less than 3 meters, and we should get an explosion. Like I said, it is getting beat up pretty bad. Now we're going to do a test, basically 3 feet up, which is about waist high. That's 3 feet. You can feel the percussion from the grenade. Now I'm almost positive this isn't going to go off, so I am going to throw it at the grass. I'm actually going to give it a good heft to see if it'll actually go off. I doubt it will. Yeah, I thought so. Just so you can see this, it's really banged up from throwing it on the concrete. I'm going to take a walk back to the compound and set up some tests and throw it against the walls, things like that. See if we get any explosions with that. Just so you get an idea what I'm doing here, I'm going up into our compound, which can't really see too good there, but here you get an idea of what I call the road going through the compound, and there's about 20 buildings. You have the wooded area here with a road going up through, and you have barricades and an outside fence here. Farther over are other buildings. Over there is some more buildings. Some buildings over there which you can't see. There are 2 up there painted slightly green, some of them. But the main area where we're going to work is actually right here. For transport, I did have the pin in just in case there was a problem, but in the grenade, so now I have the grenade pin out. These are only 7/16 plywood on here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to test throwing against them. If, like, for example, there would be somebody alongside, you could throw along at them on the wall instead of throwing on the ground. So here we're going to go underhand throw at the wall. That worked. Now, a simplistic idea would be that there'd be a bunch of people in this building, and you could go up to it and throw in the window and get somebody. Let's try that. That worked. One note, this grenade is so small, and with the black, it fell in with some leaves and grass that was in there, and it took me 2-3 minutes to find the grenade, even though it's in an 8x8 section of building. I'm going to have to put some yellow tape on the top, the bottom, I don't know, maybe even spray paint it yellow so I can find it when I'm throwing it. Now here's another solution where you might have a doorway that you come in and fire stuff into. Let's try this. They go off on the bounce. I have one of these on this side. It's a small tower. I actually have one of these built here and one farther out in the woods. I don't know if it actually would be advantageous to throw it into it, but maybe we could slam it into it. Another scenario might be that someone is up on the second floor area across this little bridge, and you have to get them out from laying in there. They lay down flat, you can't see them. So you sneak up and throw a grenade. One note is that it bothers me a little bit for the weight on this. If I throw it up there against the wall hard enough to hit, I'm wondering if it would actually hit somebody, it would actually hurt them. I'm a little concerned about that. Another section would be someone's at the top of the steps. You have to get in there and clear that person out. And it on the downside. Interesting to note that it fell 8 feet to the ground over there and it went off. So that's interesting. I'm going to try a test throwing it from here over to there and see if it goes off. Okay, we're going to try to make the distance over there from this wall cover. That I was up at least 8 feet and it didn't go off. Here we have a ramp with to one side where there's a second floor. You might not be able to see this person up there, so you want to clear out, make sure there's nobody up there. Added note, I did a test from the top of that second floor, which is basically 8 feet up in the air, to the ground. I had to be thrown at least 10 feet down. The ground is so soft that it just buried in the ground, didn't go off. Here's a scenario where we actually have a 50 caliber machine gun that's up in this big tower. It's 10 feet up in the air, has a step to the back, and it is camouflaged. If you could sneak up, maybe you could throw the grenade in. Added note again, it rolled out of the top of the tower under some leaves, and I kicked around for about 30 seconds before I actually found the grenade. I think with the yellow on it, it'll actually show a little bit better. Here's another section where we have an 8x24 building. In here, a lot of times there's openings out toward the woods area, and there's openings toward the inside compound as well. Players will get in there and lie down, making it almost impossible to get them out of there unless you actually stumble in on them. So a scenario would be to toss a grenade through the second door that you could barely see right there and see if we can get somebody. One added note, I just tested it just for the heck of it. We do have a stone wall that's down alongside the one side that we use as a cover boundary, move around. Throwing the grenade against the stone wall, of course, does go off. Throwing it in the leaves in front of it or on the lane in front of it, it did not go off. Just thought I'd show you, this is a look at the town from the wooded area going in, compound I should say, and this is looking down the lane going by it. There's a building there. You can see some of the structures farther there. We have some small barricades here for when you're moving up. Then you see down, a little farther down there, it's what we call the wall. It's just a wall in the middle of things to allow you some cover. And one of the big things you'll see here now is where a tree went down, we made a nice large like pit so you could go into. Farther up you see another tower that we have toward the lane side and another structure a little farther down. It's hard to see. Let's see here. There's another part of a structure you can see there along with part of the fence down the bottom. One of the big things that we also do here is we do training, movement training, right here, back and forth. Now, sometimes somebody will get in this and we have to flush them out. Very open building, it's easy to defend and to get the people out, so I don't think a grenade in that would be applicable. Here you see a look at a little bunker that we made in front of the wall. So it's actually dug down about 3 or 4 feet inside there, so you can almost stand up inside. And then farther down here, you actually see a small area with barricades and an open 8x8 building. Inside there, one wall is opening. It's open for it. Then farther over this way, you do see some more of the fence and a small barricade right here that we use to come into. Over here is the rest of the lane and another building, and we also have a look back into the town. And the most thing I just worked on is this ramp to get into the center building. You actually go up this ramp, you can move that top barricade and then keep going to over this bridge to the center building, down the steps or the ramp on the left side. Actually makes getting into that building fairly easy from the wood side. Of course, that is if the defenders let you get that far. There are barricades in various other spots, such as right there, and some small ones here and toward the front. But during the summer, this is very hard to move to catch people coming into the town. Okay, I did go on a little bit about my field. 4.6 acres only. It's a small training, CQC training area. So that was just some added stuff. Bottom line on this, I would say it's a maybe on the grenade. If you're on paved or a hard surface like concrete, in a building, hardwood floor, against a hard wall, it's going to work every time. If you're in grass or sandy soil or something that's soft, it will not go off. You're going to have to bounce it off something. With the added weight compared to the BFG or even a tornado version impact grenade, it starts to get a little bit dangerous, because this added weight is going to hurt somebody if it hits them. And to get some height out of it, to get the grenade to go off, yeah, you can drop it 3 feet and it'll go off. But sometimes somebody's 10 feet away from you, 15 feet away from you, you've got to throw it off a wall, hit near them. If they happen to move, you're hitting them with this solid piece of metal. That's a scary thing. Hitting them with this, very light, it's like half the weight of this, even though it's bigger. Even filled with BBs, it's not, doesn't have that much weight to it. So the bottom line on this is it's a maybe. If somebody wants to buy it, you need to put some kind of yellow reflecting tape, orange reflecting tape, something so you can see this if you do drop it into leaves or something like that after throwing against a building or whatever, because you are going to lose this. And at $150 a pop, it's not something that you want to lose right away. Blanks are relatively inexpensive for it, cheaper in the dirt. Various other places have them. As an impact grenade that's available in the United States through S.W.A.T. UK, I think it's great. I hope that they sell a lot of them. People using them in a CQB environment, maybe Lion Claws, the new one that's going to be held in Scranton, Pennsylvania, they might allow this. They might not. They might say the decimal rating is too high on it. You'd have to see. I know tornadoes are allowed. I'm not sure if these are going to be allowed. They're relatively new on the market. If I had the money again, I think I might buy a second one just to have it in case I lose this one. I will put the links on the bottom of the page for S.W.A.T. UK and their eBay page to buy them directly. Shipping to the United States took about a week. Wasn't too bad. Cost with shipping is about $150, I think. So they are more expensive than a tornado. But you got to remember too that a tornado with gas in it, if it gets too cold, sits around for a while, might not go off. Okay, same thing with Thunder Bees, things like that, using CO2. That gets cold, might go off. This will go off every time when it hits a hard surface. Okay, if you do it right. The BFGs themselves will go off on timed event. I've never had them not go off. I would say this is a good grenade. Thanks for watching, and I hope this gives you some information on the product. Bye for now.